Welcome back to MYDO Fish by Fish. We are talking about the MYDO Tuna Pack. That's my mate Glenn Williams in the advert over there. Him and I started fishing together, and funnily enough, just recently he became a world record holder for monster bluefin tuna, 958 on 50-pound line. Glenn, that's amazing. Keep that stuff up. But okay, this is all about the tuna pack. It's designed mainly for East Coast tuna. It's not really for those monsters off the Cape. It's more for our inshore bombers that fight extra hard in the shallower water. They're often chasing dolphins along the backline, or you catch them on reefs like Ellawall and Protea and Number One and whatever. Up in Mozambique, you get these things plentiful, but like 30 or 40, like what Glenn's holding in this particular picture, that's a big fish for around here in the shallows. Out deep in the tuna lanes, for sure, they get the 70s and 100s, but even bigger. But I'm concerned chiefly with these sprightly individuals under like 50 kilos. East Coast yellowfin tuna. Right, so I'm controlling the show from here and I'm talking to the camera over there. It's all a bit weird, but let's see what we can do. And we're going to start with, my favorite things, the luck shots. This is a presentation I did quite a while ago. And here we go. Hi, welcome back. Today I'm here to chat to you about the MYDO luck shot number 1 and number 2 and how it swims on its own. Look at that, with a huge left and right, up and down action with the perpendicular eye to the pulling face and the articulated hook swinging freely. That's where here it is on the surface in front of you, showing that under steady speed it just veers left and right under its own steam. You don't even have to tell it what to do. But if you do add to the action, you get amazing results on the deceleration. And this is trawling out at sea with a camera in the water next to it, just to show what's going on when you're cranking your MYDO luck shot. Here's some good imagery. This is where it really looks very cool. You can see it can't spin, it can just swim. Here's where it gets even more exciting. It takes a huge bubble down with it when it breaks the surface when you crank it really fast, like this plug like looking retrieve going on here. That makes Garrick crazy. Now you pull it back down into the water with a deceleration, and look how it drags a bubble cone of bubbles around it, just like a comet of bubbles and a smoky bubble trail that the fish are going to just see and come to inspect and come to check what's going on, because that's what these lures do. They mimic an injured, fleeing baitfish that's just full of chaos. There's no regular swimming straight, boring kind of stuff. Now that is to show you what happens after the bubble dissipates. It goes back to the swimming action, comes to the top, picks it up again, and back in the water. What that doesn't make you want to go fishing right now, and I don't know. Like I said, that's quite old, but let me show you these things close up. Right, there's the paddle tail jobby, and that paddle tail acts as a bit of an anchor, so he doesn't have the most dynamic jerky action like this guy has. This is just a split tail, but on this head he becomes an absolute just darts around like crazy. It's up to you to get the action into these things, and you can just practice by looking in clean water and jerking it around until you realize that the deceleration causes all the action, and get it to the surface to make a splash every now and then. But okay, so these guys would live in the spread excuse me, about, well, on the front of this boat, this Marlin boat, I'm not sure whose it is, but it's a very cool boat. But on the front you can see there's two lines. Those are the attractors, I call them, spinning outfits, and you either have a MYDO luck shot, or you have a popper, or you have a spoon, and you just keep throwing and throwing, because that gets to the fish in the areas over here that might not get to your spread if they didn't hear the splash and see the flash of your lure, whatever you've chosen to fish off the front. But anyway, that we'll talk about that all the way through this lot. Now in the spread behind, we're going to talk about deploying a couple of Baitswimmers. Now these things are super cool. That one in the bottom right, rigged with a mackerel. Just about anything will take that. You can see it's got wire. All these things have got wire, because the kuta and wahoo will definitely take these baits. So on the left you can see an unrigged Baitswimmer, and in the top right is the heavy duty haywide that you put a live bonito on, or a big mackerel, or a silky or something. It's got a hook in the front so that you can make sure the live bait doesn't come off when he's all aggressive with you. Obviously that goes in the back of the spread, we'll never talk about that. But yeah, I'd have one close and one far, bearing in mind that you can replace those hard plastic knocking sounding deep diving lures from China with natural baits. If you use nice tough baits like a mullet, mackerels are cool, shad are really cool, but sometimes you have to gut and stitch the gill plates closed. But that's the level that you have to go to get a real natural looking bait that actually is a fish and not a lure. But anyhow, that's the MYDO Baitswimmer philosophy, and it really has worked all these years. But moving right on, we've got an adaptation of the StripBaitSwimmer. This is quite new. So you put a big strip bait on and you just put it out the back. You can trawl it, and funnily enough, it's actually a bottom fishing rig. But if you drop this in the chum slick or trawl it behind the boat with a big, juicy bonito fillet or bonito belly shine, then you are in the game for yellowfin tuna, as well as all kinds of other weird species. But this is included in the pack because of the fact that they are so versatile and they do catch yellowfin. Alright, moving on to the good old daisy and duster combination. I've got in here this big duster. I call it a tuna duster because it's much bigger than a cuda duster. This is amazing. It catches anything and everything, from sailfish to marlin to wahoo to tuna. Anyhow, this is rigged with nylon because it's meant for yellowfin tuna, so that's a real good bait catcher too. So anyhow, I've included this as a tuna duster, and it's rigged up with a proper tuna hook, and you should have a lot of fun with this particular jogging. And my tuna daisy chain are just two beautiful squids. They are really delightful colored, and they are just very lifelike. And once again, I even catch fish in the estuaries with these things. But okay, moving right on to the good old MYDO SS spoon. Alright, so that's the 3D designing software that we use to get this thing into the shape that we now have it, which is yeah, this thing is super hot, really and truly. It's got such an amazing plethora of actions. You can go slow, you can go fast, and it produces all different shows. So that's included in the pack as well. You can buy these individually too, but man oh man, that is a very cool piece of kit. Right, wonder what I've forgotten. The poppers. My goodness. We've got a guy making these amazing fusion poppers, as you can see here. I'm really impressed. And here are a couple. These are going out in order right now. And I'm very impressed with these things. They are epoxy. Can you believe it? They've got glitter inside them, but they're super strong. So, in fact, these are made by a local chap, Nick. Very good artist, as you can see, for the commercial tuna fishermen around here who throw plugs at passing shoals of tuna with great success. I'm not going to mention any names, but there's some of the guys are really hot around here. Alright, then I've got to just show you the good old bait trace. There's nothing special about this, excepting that it's got a loop on the one side. I'm pretty sure all of you guys use clip swirls nowadays. And the other side is just a free hang-in offset 5/0 or 6/0 hook, which you use for chum when you're doing chumming and chunking, which you can all read about in the MYDO Fish by Fish courses, available pretty soon, or on mydofishinglures.co.za actually, right now. And yeah, that's it. So you can buy this lot as a tuna pack for $8.99 on my website, on the Sardine website, and you can also just give me a tinkle if you like. There's no big deal. You can just send me an email or whatever. You don't have to use the website to get going. In fact, half my business is not through the website. It's from people contacting me directly. And I really encourage you, because I want to help you guys when you go somewhere. Tell me where you're going, and I'll try and rig you up with exactly the things that I think that you should have. But okay, thank you very much for playing. And tuna pack, MYDO tuna pack. Okay, where's this record button, stop button? Okay, stop recording. Ciao.